this used to have different covers, the series, and I hated those, and so I never bought them. But I recently got the box set of these because look at the cover. Is this not the best book cover you've ever seen? I am sorry, like the red eyes, the blue hair, all the colors, the color scheme, like I am obsessed. These are the other two, and they look just as cool. The third one is my favorite, like cover-wise. It's an illustrated version of a classic. I love that. Already love that. Already sold. And it's a pretty short book. That's kind of a reason I picked it up, and I really was in the mood for something New York, you know. And I've been wanting to read some Sylvia Plath for a long time, and I feel like it's finally the time. The weather is like muddy and disgusting, and I feel like this book will kind of like make sense with that weather. I don't know, everything I've heard about it makes it feel like it will. Summer in New York. Esther Greenwood knows she's supposed to be having the time of her life, but she's on the edge of a darkness that makes her world increasingly unreal. In this vivid, unforgettable novel, Esther's vision of the world shimmers and shifts, her day-to-day city life, graced with men friends, hot dinner dates, and a slow slide into breakdown. And Sylvia Plath is the author that was married to another author, like another famous guy whose name was Ted something, and she killed herself putting her head into an oven. And then his next, and that's a specific death, and then his next wife did the same thing. Like, his next wife died the same exact way. That is craziness. That is craziness he evoked in those women. For real. But yeah, that's kind of what she's famous for. But I do want to know what it's all about. So, the Bel Jar, I've also heard a lot of times that it's not autobiography type of thing, but like that there are some autobiographical things in this book, so that you can kind of think, oh, she wrote this because of her own life, you know. Really excited. And then I started this one, and I'm too far in to DNF it, to like not continue reading it, but this is so bad. This is like 2014, the same